so today we are going to try what is called shortcut shepherd's pie. Now, I've been trying to find a good shepherd's pie recipe. I can't even speak to you. I worked all day today, so I apologize, guys. The day I'm filming this, I'm pretty exhausted. But I found this on Pinterest. Or was it... okay, I'm going to say I found it on Pinterest. I pinned it. But I was looking for a good shepherd's pie, and I came across this one, and it seems relatively easy, so we'll see how it tastes. But I'm going to take you along with me, and we'll let you know how this goes for our Food Friday this week. First thing that you're supposed to do is preheat your oven to 425, and that is Fahrenheit, and we're going to let that preheat. And the next thing I'm going to move to do is put this pan on a medium heat and throw my hamburger in there. For like exacts, I'm going to put the link in the description box so you could go and pin it yourself, save it, whatever you need to do. But I'm going to start by putting my hamburger in here. You can also use ground turkey. I think that's probably what I'll do next time. It's just I have hamburger today, so we're just going to do that. And it calls for 1.5 pounds of hamburger, but I'm going to nix that and do about a pound or a little under a pound of hamburger, and I'm going to throw in more vegetables instead. So that's the change, one of the changes that I'm going to make. There are a couple other ones, but I figured I'd let you guys know now that my hamburger isn't as much as what they're going to be using or the recipe calls for, and I'm going to up my vegetables instead of meat. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just cook my hamburger with my onions, and then this is minced garlic. The directions on this post tell you to do something completely different, so you can decide to go my way or the actual suggested way. But for me, I kind of like to, I guess, go the quick way and not have to do several things at once. Now, for seasoning, they suggest thyme. I do not have thyme, so I'm just going to do a little bit of black pepper and a dash, not a lot, of poultry seasoning, because my poultry seasoning does have thyme in it along with sage and some other rosemary and things. So it will kind of give it a little extra flavor, I guess. But yeah, that is all that I'm putting in this pan, and I'm just going to cook up my hamburger until it is brown. Then I'm going to drain it. What this says to do next is to just take a slotted spoon and put your meat in a separate bowl and blah blah blah. I didn't bother doing that, basically because I'm not doing it exactly as it says. I drained my meat, and now what I'm doing is adding 2 tablespoons of flour to this, right on top of the meat after it's been drained. I didn't want the fat in it, to be honest with you, so that's why I drained it. And then I'm just going to work the flour into the hamburger and the onions. Okay, and once your flour is like kind of mixed in, you're not going to save the flour anymore. You're going to add in a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and 1.5 teaspoons of soy sauce. I'm keeping all of that the same. And you're going to add in your beef stock. This is only a 14-ounce can. It says 2 cups, so I'm going to be a little short on this, but I think it's going to be alright. I'm going to bring this up to a boil because it's supposed to thicken up since we added in the flour. Now, I don't know how it's going to do since I didn't do the tomato paste. I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference. But because I added in the flour, I'm sure it'll be fine. Just give that a good old mix. You can add additional salt and pepper if you want. However, because I am adding in chicken or beef broth, I don't feel comfortable adding in more salt. So I'm going to skip the salt. And I already did the pepper when I was seasoning the meat. After the carrots, I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of my corn here. Again, this is something that I'm just kind of winging. And I'm going to add in the rest of my peas. Any mixed vegetables I think would work just fine in this. But again, instead of doing a lot of meat, I am upping my vegetables that I would put in this. So I'm doing more than what they recommend just because I don't want to do that much meat. And the sauce did thicken up just fine without the tomato paste. It worked out really well. So now that that's mixed in there and it got all nice and thick, what I'm going to do is move. This is a 9x9 dish, and then we'll just kind of even that out here. is obviously not for a large family. You'll have to double the recipe if you plan to make this for a bigger crowd. But tonight it's just the 4 of us, so it's, you know, I don't need a lot. But just keep that in mind. Then what you're going to do is take your potato puffs or tater tots and layer them on top of here. Again, I'm just kind of just go with it at this point. Cheddar cheese, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it. I'm not gonna worry about measuring it. More cheese for those of you that like a lot of cheese, less cheese for those of you that don't. No cheese, you know. Again, I think it's one of those things you can just kind of play with and see how it goes. And then from what I remember, you just pop this in the oven for about 20 minutes, and that's it.
Alright guys, I am going to say this is a keeper because everybody cleared their plates, not a single person complained about it, and there was no leftovers. So, it's a keeper.